Holy smokes, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon, and Space Daddy has not wasted any time. He has fired all of Twitter's top brass on day one. This doesn't bode well for the rest of Twitter. You know, there have been rumors going around that he was going to fire or lay off up to 75% of Twitter staff, thinking that they're redundant. They don't really serve a purpose, and the company needs to be leaner and meaner going forward. Here we go, guys. This is the new regime, and if you thought that it was going to be a slow transition into whatever Elon Musk wants to do with Twitter, you're in for a very rude awakening, as are Twitter executives. Gone just like tonight. So got to give a hat tip to Geeky Sparkles for sending this over. She's like, hey, you got to get on this. He's firing people already. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, over 278,000 subs, almost 279,000 subs. Thank you for the support. Speaking of support, go out to clownshishtv.com for more objective pop culture news. We're going to try covering more stuff over there that we don't have time for necessarily to do videos about, but we're going to get some other contributors and all that jazz. Yeah, so this is kind of crazy. Like, immediately, the CEO, Parag Agrawal, is that how you pronounce his name? The guy that he's had a beef with for months, fired. CFO Ned Segal, fired. And is it Vijaya Gad? Now, this is the lawyer that was crying during a meeting about the Musk takeover. She was the key executive involved in decisions to remove former President Donald Trump and ban political advertising, and she was crying about Elon Musk potentially taking over the company back in April, and she's out the door day one. Boom, gone. Just absolutely brutal. And yeah, this is what they were actually talking about when they said that they thought Elon Musk's management style was a threat to democracy. It's basically a threat to whatever little safe space Twitter has carved for itself on the internet. He's going to come in, he's going to do what he's got to do to turn this company around. And, I don't know if Twitter is going to be any better for it. I really don't. But I just like to see these people kind of get what they deserve, right? I mean, there's been a lot of drama around Twitter, a lot of bullshit around Twitter, and he immediately fired 3 of the troublemakers. So this doesn't bode very well for other people at the company, but he knows that the management needs to go. So Axios has it. They have bullet points. Hollywood Reporter has more on it. And then we'll go out to Twitter itself and see what Twitter is saying about Twitter. This is the red wedding. This is Elon Musk's red wedding here. Elon Musk completes Twitter takeover and fires the top executives. On Thursday, he completed his $44 billion acquisition of Twitter after months of dramatic attempts to renege. No, he's trying to get it cheaper. It matters because the deal gives Musk sole control over one of the most important global platforms for political speech and social discord. If you're on one side of the aisle, the other side of the aisle, not so much. CEO Parag Agrawal, CFO Ned Segal, and General Counsel Sean Edgett were all fired. Also removed was Vijaya Gad, Twitter's longtime head of legal policy and trust. Yep. Prior CEO Jack Dorsey had put her in charge of major user account decisions, like the one that permanently banned Donald Trump. So I gotta wonder, would he do it? Would he unsnap Donald Trump? Oh my God, people would freak the hell out. Musk began talking with Twitter in March about getting involved with the company, disclosed a 9.2% ownership stake. By the end of April, he signed a deal to buy it. By May, he was publicly expressing doubts because Twitter is fake. In July, he tried to officially walk away because Twitter is fake and he doesn't want to overpay for it. Twitter sued, Musk countersued, and the two sides were headed to trial before Musk caved in early October. Nah, he wanted to buy it. He just wanted to buy it cheaper because he doesn't think it's worth what he paid for it. During most of this time, Twitter stock traded well below Musk's $54.20 per share takeover offer. Closed under $40 as late as September 6th. Anyway, they're not going to say that this is what he was doing. They're going to be like, "Well, he got forced to buy Twitter." And in some ways he did, but he just didn't want to overpay for it. Hollywood Reporter. Let's see what they have to say. Elon Musk's Twitter era begins, setting stage for reboot of social media platform. The Tesla owner took control of the platform and reportedly fired the CEO, the CFO, and the lawyer that cried about the future of Twitter, that she was crying. She said things were uncertain, and of course, she's the one responsible for permabanning Donald Trump. So Musk has taken control of Twitter ahead of a court-ordered deadline on Friday. The CEO of Tesla and SpaceX and the richest person in the world, this is like a freaking movie, closed the $44 billion deal. His first order of business was relieving the company's senior leadership, like excrement, the CEO, the CFO, and some troublemaking lawyers and safety and trust people that really can't be trusted. The deal also marks the end of a wild 7 months in which Musk went from being a Twitter investor to leading a hostile takeover in mere weeks, and with him seeking to terminate the deal just a few months later, citing Twitter's well-known issues with bots. So they talk about in this article, they said one idea still under consideration per the Washington Post is that Musk will cut potentially 75% of the employee base, potentially improving its margins, but paving the way for a less moderated platform. Well, we've seen what Twitter's moderation looks like. It's a free-for-all if you're on one side of the aisle. If you're on the other side of the aisle, or even in the middle, you're not allowed to say shit, right? So here we go. What are people saying? Musk is in charge at Twitter, told former CEO and CFO have left the company's headquarters and will not be returning. Hit the road, Jack. Well, actually, Jack might be back. This is Jack's revenge, right? Breaking. Twitter CEO and CFO Ned have been fired. Man, not Parag Agrawal. I just lost my fucking job. There you go, buddy. There you go. Elon Musk has bought Twitter. He's firing all the people that have caused problems with Twitter. He doesn't need them. They had to know they were gone. I mean, did you see some of those text messages between Musk and Agrawal? Have you seen Dorsey and Agrawal that like talk? Yeah, it wasn't gonna work, guys. He's the reason that they're part of the reason they're in the trouble they're in right now. So here we go. New York Times. The New York Times. It has to be true. Has to be true. Musk completes his deal to own Twitter finally. I remember when everybody was like, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, guys. But hey, this law professor at the University of California, Irvine, who I think is this the same guy that was complaining about gamers? There could be real world consequences to his leadership. To the extent that world leaders see they have this space and it's unmoderated, they could push to see how far they can go. You know what this is all about. You know what they're afraid of. They're afraid he's going to say Beetlejuice 3 times and bring him back. That's what they're afraid of. The acquisition has been celebrated by some Republicans who have argued that Twitter censored conservative viewpoints. It wasn't just conservative viewpoints. If you're a moderate, if you question the narrative at all, you could find yourself banned on Twitter for stupid reasons. Researchers have said Twitter's rules have been essential to countering online hate speech and disinformation. Some advertisers have worried about allowing their brands to appear alongside controversial tweets. What advertisers? I don't see a lot of ads on Twitter. All I see are people boosting tweets. I mean, maybe I got the wrong version of Twitter, but all I'm seeing are people promoting tweets. I'm not seeing like ads. It's a Back to the Future reversion to content rules circa 2010. Yes, that's what we want, but one that ignores the lived experience of the last decade, says Colin Crowell, Twitter's former head of global public policy who left in 2019. People eventually realize that the Wild West needs a sheriff, both for ensuring the safety of citizens, but also for enhancing the prospects for commerce. Musk has promised other sweeping changes at Twitter, including new leadership, job cuts. There it is, guys, job cuts in the pursuit of new ways to make money. Twitter, which is temporarily based in San Francisco, temporarily employs more than 7,500 people, has had difficulties consistently growing its advertising-based business and attracting new users. I can't imagine why people are staying away from Twitter. Probably because it's a ridiculous police state. You can't say anything. Real people don't use it. As soon as you get onto the platform, you're dogpiled by ridiculous people that were, migrants from Tumblr and LiveJournal and other dark, weird corners of the internet. Twitter is not a platform that grandma uses, and I think one thing Musk is going to have to do is try to turn it into something that's a little more mainstream. It kind of, sort of was a little more mainstream 10 years ago, and then it got weird because they let weirdos in charge of the company, and they let the weirdos run amok. And, we'll see what happens. Musk is going to remake it without having to disclose how it's performing. Well, then maybe he won't be incentivized to let the bots run rampant. By taking the company private, he does not need to regularly answer to shareholders and can make changes to the service away from the public's prying eyes. There you go, guys. There it is. So they're already cutting people. And this is just the beginning. The Red Wedding is underway. So I'm going to wrap this up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.